Hey guys, it's Muffin, and I want to show you how to get LP in TFT 5.5 using the Draven Legionnaire build. That's the intro, short and sweet. First carousel, I normally like to grab a BF sword. Our three ideal items for Draven all have the BF sword as a component and are decent enough early game, so it's pretty good value to get this early on. If you can't get a sword, then a bow or glove will normally do just fine, but you'll probably want to lose streak to ensure you do get the sword in the second carousel. And our first round of minions gives us a second BF sword, so we can make a death blade right off the bat. This gives our Kled an instant 60 attack damage boost, plus an additional 10 for every enemy he helps kill, though it won't stay on him for very long. Actually, we're gonna get rid of him. And grab these two Leonas to set up our front line. Actually, we landed 2-star Leona and a 2-star Kalista right before our first player combat. Which is pretty good, pretty strong. Kalista's actually a really great holder for Draven items, so we're going to throw the Deathblade on her, and then we just put in this Irelia to give us that Legionnaire bonus. Normally you'll probably get Aatrox early on, and then if you get to the fourth unit, probably another redeemed, so Syndra or a Varus if you happen to catch them. Tuck these guys in the corner, just in case of any assassin shenaniganery. And look at Kalista go. 178 attack damage is nothing to scoff at in the first combat. Alright, and we get an Aatrox, and I decided to level up just so we can throw him in, get 3 Legionnaire, and just maintain our win streak. We couldn't econ this round anyway, so being able to keep that win is going to just keep us on a positive roll. And I'm less concerned about our carousel items right now just because we are so strong, and we win the next 2 combats with very little change. Now we are going to go last in the carousel because we've been win streaking and haven't actually taken any damage yet, so our main goal right now is going... Obviously, we would have liked a sword, but we're actually going to grab a belt because we already have a belt on Leona, and this will allow us to make a Warmogs, which will just make us really tanky on our front line. And since we have such a strong back line anyways, while they're busy dealing with Leona, we'll be able to pump out a lot of damage. Grabbing that 2-star Leona doesn't look too bad either. This Tristana has a Last Whisper early on. Please never do that. It's such a bad item to make early in the game. It does nothing really. It's normally for armor shred, and that only really matters when you have a lot of DPS coming out and the enemy has maybe ironclad or just some like really beefy tanks on the board. It's really not useful here at all, so I don't know why this person decided to put it on a Tristana, but please don't do that. Alright, and I actually made a mistake here. I popped in my second Kalista instead of my Aatrox, and the mentality was a lot of people play Thresh, and you don't want to put your main carry in the very back corner because Thresh grabs the unit that's in the farthest from him, and it basically makes them very useless for a large percentage of the fight. And so I hoped that if I put a second Kalista behind, that having the second Kalista back there who won't move would be able to take any hooks from Thresh. That turned out to be, I think, the wrong play here because it made our main Kalista more squishy and open, and the person we went against didn't even have a Thresh, so we do lose here and take a bit of damage. But they also just really had a strong team, so I think we were going to lose anyways, but I thought I would point it out that it wasn't a tactic that worked here. And now we have a Yasuo and a Riven, so I actually kind of start setting up what our final board state's going to be, which is our main carry kind of tucked in this little corner behind all of our Legionnaires. Really helps that Kalista's range, and that's why she makes such a really good Legionnaire carry for Draven items, because she's not going to move. She kind of can attack from across the entire board. So we can kind of just plop in Draven when we get him. And now we have 4 Legionnaires, so our attack speed is greatly increased, as well as we're starting to get healing for the damage that we're doing. And mostly just getting all of the units we're going to have late game. Alright, we're still pretty strong, so our main goal right now is still leveling up, just to get more units on the board, as well as getting us our higher chance towards getting our main carries of Galio and Draven. Not too worried about re-rolling at all, just keeping our econ and getting leveled up because we did come in with a really strong start. Alright, we're still at the very end of the carousel. Last group, glove would be good, but that's taken. So by the time we're actually even in the carousel, all our items are gone. But I know we have a bow, and I can match a bow with a Negatron cloak to make a Runon's Hurricane, which is not a bad item on Draven, especially already with the Deathblade and greatly increasing his attack power and allowing them to attack for 75% damage to a second unit, which is not bad at all. Attacking 2 units at the same time, can't really complain. And since we already aren't getting our sword, we can pretty much just slam this item on the like button. I'm kidding, on Kalista, and it's gonna help us just keep our win streak, hopefully, which of course is immediately challenged by a group that has 4 knights, 2 ironclad, and 2 Cavalier, which is just insane, and 2 Forgotten, which is just insanely tanky. So we're not strong enough to take this, but we are going to be able to do this pretty easily later on, but for right now we're just not weak enough. So we do lose our win streak, but we're still pretty strong, so I'm not worried about the rest of the field for right now. And our Radiant items are tricky, because I really want to grab that Luminous Deathblade, stick it on Kalista, and just greatly increase our attack damage by a mile. I don't know why I didn't grab it. Some part of me just really hates having two of the same item, so I grabbed the Zeke's Harmony, which increases our attack rate by 50% for anyone next to the unit holding it, so I throw it on my Yasuo. And then we still have an item slot that will be going on our Draven. But I really want to know what would have happened if I got that Deathblade. Probably would have just shot everything in one, killed everything in one shot. It would have been great. After leveling up to 7, we do manage to find a Galio, though we're not going to put him in quite yet, leaving the Leona in because we have 3 redeemed. And 2-star Leona with redeemed is slightly better, I think, than Galio 1-star. So we're going to wait till we get a 3-star to really replace that Leona. We also have an extra spot on our board, which could be taken by a 5th Legionnaire, but I decided to throw in Kalista down in the bottom left. Our next item is a Negatron Cloak, which we then add with a Chain Vest on Leona to get a Gargoyle Stone Plate. So once we replace them in, those will all be going on Galio, which is just making our comp a little bit more beefy, a little stronger, and harder to penetrate. And then we do kind of run into a Draven build that's kind of coming at us, has the Yasuo, and we win, which always feels great. It's kind of interesting that this Draven has a Last Whisper on it. Last Whisper is not really a good Draven item anymore because Draven has Last Whisper almost built in. He kind of skips 50% of armor on enemy units anyways, so it's not really necessary on Draven, which I'm pretty sure is one of the main reasons we win. Also, Hex Attack Gunblade's not very good on him either, I feel. A Bloodthirster would be way better for healing rather than Hex Attack Gunblade. Very interesting choice on that Draven. I think he gets kicked out really quick, actually. And normally I would want a bow here to get a Rage Blade, but there is none, so we're gonna grab a glove, maybe make a Jeweled Gauntlet if we can't find anything else, or stick it on a random unit if we find something better. We are gonna dip a little bit below 50 gold in order to get to level 8, just to start getting all of our units out, really. Make room for a couple of more units just in case, as well as just give us our greater chance at that Draven every turn. We're not super weak right now, but it is about time that we start trying to get out that Draven. He would be really useful. Even selling the Rel to put in Thresh, giving us that Knight bonus, and all we really need is that Draven to get us Legionnaire 6 and Forgotten 2. And then we pretty much are just trying to strengthen our comp by leveling up as many units as possible and just getting good items. But positioning, we're pretty much set how we're going to be for the rest of the game, and we're still mighty strong with a win streak and in 2nd place. And of course, immediately we go up against another Draven comp, which is actually stronger than ours right now. He does have the Rage Blade, he does have the Bloodthirster, as well as has an IE, which does increase his critical damage and crit rate, which is a very strong combo, actually. Having 4 Legionnaire and 4 Forgotten and 2 Knight. Basically a similar comp to exactly what we're going, just a little bit more fleshed out because he did get the Draven early on. All right, and now we are going to put our Galio in and roll down until we find a Draven, just because we don't want to be the last one to get to him and have no Dravens. We do find one actually immediately, but we're going to try and get a 2-star Draven, so we're just going to keep rolling. Oh, and actually another Draven comp immediately. A lot of people are going Draven this game, apparently, and we lose. That's 2 losses in a row, which means we're really going to need to go find that 2-star Draven as fast as possible. Luckily, we have a lot of money and really nothing to save it up for, so it's perfectly fine for us to roll down now. We're not going 9 this game or anything, so... And on chickens, we actually do get that bow, allowing us to make a Rage Blade. So good thing we didn't make the Jewel Gauntlet earlier on, and that just is going to make our Draven even stronger, because I don't think we found an item that was better for Draven. Selling the Kalista just to put in our Draven, and rolling down to try and find a 2-star. Oop, also picking up Galio along the way, trying to get a 2-star Galio, just for defense, because, you know, defense is the best offense. And instantly, even 1-star Draven melting the enemy team. Rage Blade, Runons, and Deathblade just destroying teams so quickly. We have this Reforger, nothing really to do on it because all the items we have we really like. So it's just going to sit there. Honestly, my least favorite item. I do not like the Reforger. If you need it, you're probably losing already. If you don't need it, then it's kind of a waste of space. And we managed to get our 2-star Draven and our 2-star Galio, so we're pretty set. This is mostly how we're just going to be for the rest of the game, other than moving around for positioning. This is the end game now, boys. This is where men are formed. But yeah, basically 6 Legionnaire, 2 Knights, and 2 Forgotten. Thresh grabs onto anything. All we really have left is we want to replace this Kalista with a Kale, if we can. Kale's pretty powerful. And if you get pretty late in the game... Oh, here's Last Whisper Draven again. I don't understand it. It's really not necessary, but... You know, you do you, man. We just delete this team real quick, and they're actually our first ones we knock out in the entire game. New roulette. Not really clear what to get here. I think our best item actually is a Sunfire Cape, but it really, I don't think mattered too much. I just grabbed a ZZ Rot, which I think actually was a really bad item to put on Galio. He already has a lot of pull-in. But we're actually still pretty strong, so I'm not too stressed out about it. And then we also get our Kale to fill out our comp, get rid of the Kalista, and yeah, that's it. This is our Draven Legionnaire build. But of course, sadly, the other win streaker in the lobby is of course playing a Lucian, which I think is just a hard response to our Draven. It's just really good. Lucian's such a good meta right now. So we can try and play a couple of tricks if we really want to try. But he really is just very strong, and it's going to be very hard to beat him. Yeah, doing 8,000 damage every turn. Dragon with an Archangel Staff. With no clear person to use it on. Who is going to take that? I guess Yasuo? We don't really have any ability power based units. So I guess, yeah, Yasuo. We're going to sell everything, try and make some money. Mostly we're going to try and do some crazy shenaniganery with this Viego here. Trying to find a way to take out that Akshan Lucian combo that's just dirty and destructive, and our poor Draven doesn't know how to handle it. This Kale combination normally pretty scary. Wipes us out, and now we are in the top 4, and now we're officially winners, and we're just fighting for first, second, or third place. But of course we're fighting for first, and maybe we can swap these around. All right, Viego, who does grab onto the Lucian but does not pull the wins because of Pike. Stupid Pike. Lucian is just way too powerful. It's not a comp I run, but it destroys me every time. I'll have to learn Lucian soon. We take our stimulus check, which does give us the ability to get redeemed. I don't know who to redeem. I guess just Viego. Like, who cares? who really cares? It doesn't matter. I think it would have been good if we hadn't put the Zera on Galio and we could put redeemed on Galio, giving him that armor bonus, but it's a little too late for that now. All right, one last carousel. Ooh, I see a Zephyr. That yeah, I don't think we have any luck with this. I don't think we have any luck with this. 2-star Viego, but I don't think it's gonna help us much. And because we didn't grab an item, we get a Cavalier bonus, which we just don't have a Cavalier right now and nowhere really to put one. Moving Draven over here just to see if we can maybe catch that Lucian off kilter. Zephyr's our Viego, of course. And we actually almost kill him. We actually get really close. Oh, we do beat him. We do manage to get one in, even with a Zephyr Viego. Looking for that 2-star Kale, because I don't think we're going to get a gold Riven. And even then, I don't think should be that good at this point. And he moved his Draven completely over, Zephyring our Kale, which actually doesn't do much. Kale doesn't need to actually be active in order to become good. The battle just needs to go long enough. And yeah, Lucian kills our Draven instantly. We survive with 2 health. 2 health. 2 health and a dream. All right, Big Beetle, what you got for us? A blue buff, which is not going to help anyone do anything ever. Okay, put it on Viego, because why the fuck not? Fuck us game, right? That's what you're saying right now. All right, and last chance to turn this around, put our Draven up front line. He's actually not too bad of a frontline unit because of his natural healing, because of Legionnaire. And I did not realize he had 2 Zephyrs. And we put our Draven directly into the Zephyrs, and we're annihilated. It's gone. And of course we end the games with the GGs. Our opponent actually was really good, a very strong comp. Yeah, no, that was not a bad second at all. I don't think we could have beat that better with like hard strategy, other than just doing wacky stuff that, you know, doesn't make any sense but happens to, you know, just win on a chance and a dream, and catching him off guard, you know? Makes me really wonder what would have happened if I had put maybe that second Death Blade on instead of the Rage Blade. Our Draven never had enough time to charge up, but could have had more attack right off of the bat. I'm really curious to see how that would have gone by. Yeah, Draven Legionnaire is very comprehensive, just very easy to run. I run it all the time. It's one of the best comps in the game right now. Try it out, and thank you for watching.